In just a few moments, President Trump is expected to be leaving for his state banquet, and overnight the president paid respects and complimented President Xi Jinping.
Such respect for China, the job you've done. You're a great leader. I say it to everybody. You're a great leader. Sometimes people don't like me saying it, but I say it anyway because it's true. I only say the truth.
National security and military analyst Rebecca Grant joins me now. Rebecca, great to see you. We just got some specifics on how this bilateral meeting went with this White House readout. So let's lean into what the White House is saying. It reads in part, President Xi also made clear China's opposition to the militarization of the Strait and any effort to charge a toll for its use. And he expressed interest in purchasing more American oil to reduce China's dependence on the Strait in the future. Both countries agreed that Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. So some notable points there, especially when it comes to the purchase of oil and the agreement that Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. So what is your read on that?
China is feeling the pressure. And big picture, what a turnabout from a year ago where China was threatening critical minerals license exports. Now we've got the U.S. Navy in the Strait of Hormuz, Venezuela out of the picture, and Trump having arrived with an incredible display of American tech power. Keyword there, I think, China agreeing that Iran should not have a toll booth in the Strait. Now, are they going to do anything concrete to help? I doubt it. But it looks like Trump has put some pressure on China vis-a-vis Iran. Don't forget, China supported Iran's terror regime with oil purchases for so long. I'm glad to see that perhaps turning around.
Yeah, and when it comes to China and Iran, there's a piece in the Washington Post. It's titled, China Gains Major Edge on U.S. Amid Iran War. Intelligence report finds. It goes on to say, since the U.S. and Israel initiated the Iran war, China has sold weapons to Persian Gulf allies of the U.S. as they struggle to defend their military bases and oil infrastructure from Iranian missile and drone attacks. Beijing has also assisted countries around the world struggling to meet their energy needs after the U.S.-Israeli attacks prompted Iran to close the Strait of Hormuz, a corridor for the transport of 1/5 of the world's oil and gas. So what this piece is saying is that there was this intel report that found that China is actually trying to gain from the war in Iran and make friends globally because of it. What's your reaction to that?
Oh, China is always trying to get an advantage, but the Post report is flat out wrong. I think that everything in Operation Epic Fury has shown, in fact, that the U.S. has an incredible military edge, one that China is not going to approach anytime soon, despite their formidable capabilities. I think the reality in Beijing is a very cold assessment of the prowess of the U.S. military doing things that Beijing, frankly, cannot do. Now, they always maintain their interests around the world, but we've seen that the Russian-based types of air defenses and China's anti-ship missiles really have not been as effective as they've been made out to be. So I say U.S. military operations around Iran, that adds up to a big signal that China should be pretty worried about their own military capability.
Okay, let's talk about Taiwan, Dr. Grant, because it comes with a hostile, even a bit of a threatening tone when it comes to the messaging out of China this morning. China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson posted on X that President Xi stressed to President Trump that the Taiwan question is the most important issue in China-U.S. relations, and if handled properly, the bilateral relationship will enjoy overall stability. This is the key point here. Otherwise, the two countries will have clashes and even conflict, putting the entire relationship in jeopardy. And of course, this is as the Trump administration has approved this $14 billion weapons package to Taiwan, but has yet to fulfill that package. So how does the president respond to this? What does he do when it comes to the issue of Taiwan?
The Chinese diplomats always bring up Taiwan, but what I like, Carly, is I don't see any hesitation from the U.S. side. We're not falling for that. We are going to continue to support Taiwan with arms sales. We need to speed them up, but I think our security guarantees there are pretty strong. We're going to stay on the somewhat ambiguous policy that we've had for quite a long time, and I think basically President Trump is standing firm behind Taiwan. He does not want to see Chinese aggression there or in the South China Seas or elsewhere around the world.
National security and military analyst Dr. Rebecca Grant, we thank you so much for your time this morning.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.